KwaZulu-Natal's violent and deadly insurrection earlier this month has meant a delay in school education. Hundreds of schools were vandalised, leaving many pupils with no classrooms. In fact, it was 139 schools that were vandalised. Some parents also fearing for the safety of their children in areas where racial tensions have been simmering. Our reporter Lethiwe Mdluli joins us now from Durban. Lethiwe, hi, thank you so much for joining us. I know that you were in and around Durban looking at the schools, obviously coming back after the level 4 lockdown, but some of these schools, of course, hampered even further because of the looting and the vandalism at 139 schools. Tell us about those schools and how they managed to open up today, and also about racial tensions in areas such as Phoenix, the President alluded to.
Well, Sally, it's been a very long day for the Department of Education in the province, and also for parents and pupils as well as teachers, because we have been visiting places such as Phoenix, which was a trouble area during 2 weeks ago when we had the unrest in the province. We visited 3 schools earlier on today in Phoenix with the Department of Education, just basically monitoring the reopening of schools in that area because of the unrest and because of the racial tensions that were experienced in that part of town. While we were there, we got a chance to speak to psychologists and also teachers to find out some of their plans that they have put in place to make sure that every pupil is attended to, because what we have noticed is that a lot of pupils come from that community that experienced that unrest, and obviously there's different races in schools, so the department was trying to bring everyone together and just basically formulate a plan where everyone can be in the same area without experiencing the tension that was coming from the unrest in the province a few weeks ago. Also, we also visited a school that was vandalized in Umlazi. We have about 139 schools that were vandalized during the looting. And the school that I visited was basically, the principal told me that they lost about 18 laptops for the learners there. And also they lost a lot of food that was meant for the school nutrition program, but luckily they have been able to continue with that feeding scheme, but they were able to reopen today. It's just that it's a lot of troubles that they faced, and they're working with what they have at the moment.
All right. I know that you've prepared a piece a little earlier. Let's take a listen to that.
The worry runs deep that the recent unrest could impact pupils and schools in KwaZulu-Natal. Schools in places such as Phoenix, which was hard hit by the unrest, are of the greatest concern. Teacher unions say with the racial tensions in the area, they could spill over to schools.
Tensions are still there, there's anxiety and there's fear. So what is important in that situation is to be able to deal exactly with the issue. And the issue here is these allegations of racism. They need to be dealt with, especially with learners, because remember, learners that you see in this school, they are coming from the community. They may come here with the anger that is out there from different racial communities.
The unions have called for pupils to receive psychological support, and the education department says plans are in place.
There are 2 groupings of learners that would have been affected by this situation. One, there are those that have witnessed the gruesome killings of people, and they're still young ones. We have issued a circular today to all our school principals to source information of those learners that have been directly affected by the impact of this situation.
The MEC for Education in KZN has monitored the reopening of schools and given assurance that schools will be protected.
There were many fears from parents and learners themselves, both from both communities, to say there may be either continued attack or retaliation. And our responsibility as Department of Education has been to make sure that our schools are safe. They remain a conducive environment for learners of all groupings. And so far, all the schools have successfully opened without any incidents of violence.
The MEC says police visibility has also been increased and community engagements are set to continue to ensure peace. Lethiwe Mdluli, Phoenix, Durban.
Lethiwe, thank you so much for that piece, and I think it stresses so importantly that these kids in these areas that have been impacted by the violence and the looting are not only dealing with that and the fear around what that has caused, but also the long-term impact of disrupted schooling and the anxiety that the pandemic itself has caused. Such an important issue that you've raised. Thank you so much for chatting to us this evening. Much appreciated. That is Lethiwe Mdluli coming to us live from Durban.